Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with some mostly sunny conditions out there with just some high clouds spread around the area, seeing those temperatures warming into the lower 50s at this time and still keeping those light winds. Should see a fairly quiet weather day ahead with slightly above average temperatures. As we move into tomorrow, we'll see a chance of a few rain showers pushing through, mainly during the first part of the day, and then another quiet weather day as we move into Wednesday before some active weather pushes through for the holiday. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, high pressure and control over the local area, we have a boundary off to the west with an area of low pressure just south of the Great Lakes. That's going to track northeastward, and it's going to bring that boundary through during the morning hours tomorrow, and that will bring that chance of some slightly breezy conditions as well as some rain showers pushing through the area. Overall, not looking too significant, but nonetheless, mainly during the first part of the day. Then high pressure behind that, bringing in some slightly cooler conditions into the area. If we look at the upper level winds this morning, some light northeasterly winds at the surface, seeing more westerly winds as we go up through the entire column. Gradually building, seeing our peak wind up around 64 knots at 25,000 feet. The freeze level today is at 11,900 feet. Looking at the current visible satellite, we can see some of those cirrus clouds passing through the area. Expect that to remain the case as we move through the daytime hours today. Going into the evening, we'll see some additional high clouds as well as some mid and low level clouds starting to build into the area ahead of that boundary that pushes through for tomorrow morning. If we look at the high resolution model, we'll see as explained, we'll see mainly sunny conditions through the day, and then going into the later hours and overnight time frame, we see some additional cloud cover around the area, and then we will start to see rain approaching the region and likely passing into the region as we get past the 7 or 8 a.m. time frame. Again, look to be a few rain showers around the area, mainly during the first part of the day, and as we get into the afternoon, we'll likely see those rain chances ending either by the afternoon or the first hour or two of the afternoon. And some slightly breezy conditions out ahead and along that boundary as well, winds turning more northwesterly as we go into Tuesday evening, and we'll see those clouds starting to clear out of the area going into Wednesday. Much of the day we'll see partly cloudy conditions, but then later in the day we'll start to see some increasing clouds once again ahead of the next system. Zooming out here, starting off Wednesday morning with the European model, you see that high pressure and control for much of Wednesday, and then the next system starts to approach. Looks to be a area of low pressure that will be tracking through the mid-Atlantic region. Some variations in the modeling with this. GFS a bit flatter with the upper level trough and a little weaker with the low pressure system, but nonetheless looks like we'll see some shower activity pushing into the area, as well as some slightly breezy to breezy conditions as we get into our Thanksgiving time frame here. And the European model keeps a stronger area of low pressure kind of deepening along the northeast coast as we go through the day on Thursday, and much of the rain activity, if not all, tapering off as we go overnight Thursday into early Friday. The difference here with the GFS does keep a bit flatter in the way of the upper level flow and some rain chances lingering into the first part of Friday, but nonetheless behind the system we'll see that trough digging in over the region. That means some cooler air moving through, much cooler air really, with some seasonable to below seasonable temperatures moving in for the weekend. Overall things looking mainly dry, but with the upper level low and upper level trough kind of lingering over the region. Can't rule out some cloudiness, maybe even a few light sprinkles or maybe a light shower around the area as we go through the weekend. But again, overall mainly dry conditions as high pressure starts to build in behind that system. But again, we'll see some much cooler temperatures as we move through the weekend time frame here. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions over the next 24 hours, not tracking any weather concerns. We'll see our high temperature up around 60 degrees today, so about 5 degrees above average. Winds staying fairly light as they shift more southerly going into the evening time frame, and mainly just some high clouds around going through the overnight and into the early morning. We'll see an increase in the high clouds as well as some low to mid-level clouds building around, possibly seeing a ceiling develop around 6,000 feet. And we will see a slight breeze pick up out of the south-southwest, around 7 to 12 knots. So likely seeing our low temperature of 49 degrees early in the evening, and then we'll see things become fairly mild for this time of year as we go through the early morning hours of Tuesday, and starting to see a slightly breezy southwesterly breeze as we start the day on Tuesday with mostly cloudy to overcast conditions. But again, that rain chance likely holding off till after 8 a.m. We'll see slightly below normal temperature, tides this morning. And looking at Tuesday, we'll see cloudy with chance of some rain showers around the area to start the day on Tuesday. And again, expecting those to taper off as we get into the early afternoon, becoming mostly to partly cloudy. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions. So looking at a yellow risk for precip as well as a yellow risk for that chance of seeing winds that are above 25 knots with that wind advisory criteria, likely only occurring for a period of time, not necessarily an all-day wind advisory if it does occur. Looking at a high of 64, so mild temperatures out ahead of the front. And then behind it, we're back to more seasonable temperatures, a low of 38 Tuesday night with partly cloudy to mostly clear and seasonable conditions. And then Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy with those clouds building ahead of the next system and seasonable with a high of 58 degrees. Looking at the extended forecast here, we pick up that 70% chance of rain for Thursday with that low pressure system pushing through. Seeing some mild conditions as that pushes through and in cooler conditions behind it, but low pressure keeping the breezy conditions as well. Lingering chance of rain overnight into early Friday. Again, depending on how that shakes out. Otherwise, we'll see some slightly breezy conditions continue for Friday with seasonable temperatures a high of 52 degrees. And then going into the weekend, again, looking at much cooler conditions than average. Seeing our high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Low temperatures right around 30 degrees. We'll have a mix of partly cloudy to mostly cloudy at times, mainly during the evening. Slightly breezy on Saturday, and then possibly seeing that breeze back off a bit as we get into Sunday. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.